for the miners that basically, the Ethereum miners in particular, that they'll be able to see the recording of this, and hopefully that can sort of get an understanding as to what Raven coin miners are doing and what the project's been built on it. So look, we'll make a start. We'll try to sort of keep this to an hour and a half. Just probably a bit of an overview. We'll well, I was going to ask the Ethereum miners to share their story, but maybe some of you that have mined Ethereum can sort of share a brief in terms of what your experience were, and then I'll get LSJ to sort of give us a bit of a briefing around the Ravencoin blockchain and what the fundamentals around it. That is from a mining and the fundamentally in terms of what Ravencoin is all about, and then I'll get people to share their story in terms of mining, the Ravencoin mining itself. So people that are mining Ravencoin to sort of share briefly what your experience has been. And then we'll get people to also share in terms of the projects, people who have got projects on the Ravencoin blockchain, to share in terms of what you're doing, very briefly. So then people that are looking at mining on Ravencoin, they've got the understanding what projects are actually going on the Ravencoin blockchain. And then we go into a fantastic concert by SOS. As always, we always put some great music for us at the end, and so looking forward to that, SOS. But yeah, look,
I am as well.
He's got some new stuff. He always has new stuff to surprise us with, so looking forward to it. But look, just a bit of an intro. Most of you know who I am. Luis Miguel Alexo. I'm the managing director and co-founder of Brick BC Projects. We tokenise real estate here in Australia. But this event we put on in month, this Braveland event that we have every month, first Saturday of each month, is very much a community, Ravencoin community-driven event. Yes, I facilitated with the help of my people around here, LSJ, Indy, and SOS, and Philly normally comes in. I think he's probably still in catch-up mode at the moment with all his stuff. He's been away, so but yeah, look, this is very much about Ravencoin community. It's not about Brick. It's not about me. Yes, I help facilitate it, but at the end of the day, this is about the Ravencoin community getting together and having different themes each month. We have a central theme to the session. We all obviously share knowledge, share information, and hopefully walk away with a bit of knowledge and enjoying some great music at the same time. So, but yeah, look, in terms of today, as I said, I was hoping today to get some Ethereum miners that are looking for their new home, but at the moment we haven't got that. So maybe, so Total Frames, Bob, you said you used to mine Ethereum. What was your experience in terms of when you were mining Ethereum? But from was it easy and basically what's the returns on it, and why made you sort of look elsewhere to buying some, obviously Ravencoin?
So my history of mining is kind of a little all over the place. I kind of got into mining like right when it was getting real big in like 2014. I got a rig, and I wanted to mine Doge back then, which was it? Yeah, I think it was 2014 that I got my rig. Yeah, I started mining Doge, and I only mined. Yeah, I know it's ridiculous, but it was worth about 0.0014 or something at the time, or when I was done mining it. And I had some Litecoin and stuff, but I kind of screwed myself and forgot my wallets for like multi-pool. So I mean, I don't know how much Litecoin I had in there. I kind of forget that because I kind of gave up on it. It seems like it was like not doing much unless you were in Bitcoin, and nobody nobody wanted to really get into ASIC and ant miners and stuff for that. It was just easier to do it with graphics cards and get the Doge and that other code, was it SHA thing? Was those codes? But yeah, so I had a miner for a while, and then I kind of gave up because I moved in on my own and I couldn't mine. I didn't want to pay for the power, but I had about 50,000 Dogecoin that I just kind of forgot in a wallet, and then opened it, got the key, still had the keys in my email, and opened it like in 2019, and it was 44,000 Dogecoin that was worth, $2,000 rather than the $14 when I had mined it in 2014. So I kind of got real excited again, and then decided to buy another couple rigs from a guy on Kijiji in Calgary. But I was too, I think, kind of wide-eyed and I knew enough to make myself dangerous, and then got those rigs, which turned out to be 4 gig cards. And when I got them, I couldn't really mine Ethereum at that point anyway, because the difficulty had become so high that you couldn't mine it with 4 gig cards anymore. So that's kind of how I had my introduction haphazardly to Ravencoin. So I kind of had stuck those rigs on Ravencoin for about a year and a half, excessive power bills, but it was good. It was profitable for a while. I still mine here once in a while when it's colder out. I just can't heat up my place too much with that right now. Like, it'll be good in the winter, I'll run it. And I grow some pot plants too in my garage, so in the winter when it gets cold, I'll use my miner to heat my pot plant. But yeah, that's kind of it. I've tried to mine Ethereum a little bit with my laptop, with my other GPU, but just not worth it for, if you have a farm, it's worth it. If you have, and also, like, my 4 gig cards aren't the best. Like, I didn't mean to say that, like, it's not worth it to mine. I still think it is to a degree, to save it and to support the transactions, but I kind of had to give up on Ethereum just because it wasn't. I put everything on Ravencoin at that point. It just made more sense to kind of stack as much as possible and support. That's kind of my mining experience.
That's great. Great to hear those experience in Ethereum perspective. Obviously, people can't do it anymore. Obviously, it's stopped a couple of weeks ago now. But I guess people will be looking for new homes, like in terms of where they're going to, what other proof of work blockchains they're going to be mining. So great to hear your experience there, Fatal. Probably if anybody else has put a shares in terms of you've been mining Ethereum, for example, you wanted to share that experience, that's what you had, and I just say hello to Hype Man as well. Hype Man. Hope you're good, mate. I know you just joined in. Sorry, is that US-est?
No, that was Humble.
Oh, Humble. Sorry. Yep. Please go.
Yeah. So I mined ETH for years. It was kind of like my study go-to. It was honestly one of those, I'm just a home miner. So what I did was, you could just turn it on, let it run, and just, I've done spec mining over the years, but, ETH was kind of like a safety for a lot of miners. It was easy, like everybody had like the undervolting settings for every single GPU, and basically you could, I think, it was the easiest to be able to hop onto. Like, you could hop onto YouTube and be mining ETH in a couple of minutes, honestly. So it's been kind of a go-to. And then over the past year, like, I've always done spec mining, but I've always, at least like since Ravencoin emerged, like I've always had at least a couple GPUs on Ravencoin. ETH has just been a safety for a lot of people. But yeah, now that ETH is gone, it's like I stopped mining a couple months ago, just because I knew it was going to be ending soon, and I started ramping up like spec mining again of like all the other proof of work chains. But yeah, it's definitely a huge shift in the whole ecosystem, and you can see over the last month, like ETH miners have shifted, and a lot have turned off too. So we've seen a lot of hash power go to Ravencoin. We've seen it go to ETC. We've seen it go to Ergo. A lot of spec mining also is going wild. So we've seen, like, over the last month, like, prices go crazy, it's definitely been interesting to see. And it looks, I don't know, it seems like a lot of miners have also turned off their rigs. Me personally, I've turned off mine because a lot of people have turned their mining rigs to everything else, and now the difficulty adjustment went skyrocketing for pretty much everything. So you're either breaking even or just below or losing. And I think right now, I think most people, at least in the US, are either breaking even or just under. So it's definitely been a big shift, and I'm sure it will start to see a continued shift in what the rest of the next couple of months will look like. I'm sure there's going to be a couple. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some forks popping up, like proof of work forks. But yeah, it's been an interesting ride.
That's great. Got to hear feedback in terms of your experiences there. LSJ, you've mined Ethereum before, LSJ?
Yeah. I think everyone who's kind of GPU mined and stuff like that at home has probably mined Ethereum. Just because, like Kumble said, it was a staple of mining community, I'm going to say, because Bitcoin, as soon as ASICs came out for that, which are specific machines to mine, then Bitcoin was obviously, when you could mine it with a GPU, etc., that was the most effective, efficient way to do it. Other than that, you had to use a CPU. And the next step from that is because people could actually make a specific machine that was really efficient at mining. So that's why people moved to Ethereum, because it was basically built to be memory intensive. So it needed a lot of memory on the graphics card to work, and that's how they kind of pushed into GPU mining and made it a bit harder to get ASICs on the network. And they've been really stable, I would say. I think in the last probably year or two there have been some ASICs on Ethereum from the hash rates and stuff. But yeah, it's I think most people have obviously turned off their gear and just stashed it away for now, because it's just not profitable to mine really, in general, because difficulty. Yeah. Sorry, I just seen Fatal Frames has had his hand up there for a little bit. I don't know if...
Oh, sorry, yeah. I put it on and I was going to take it off, but then my name got hidden in the crowd or the window that shows everybody. It's all good. I just also wanted to add, with the switch over for mining Ravencoin, like just in August there, for me, I don't have much hash rate. It's about 100 mega hash. But, you know, I was mining about 130 Raven per day, and then, you know, now it's like, I'm lucky if maybe I'll mine like 25 to 30 or something.
Yeah, and I mean that kind of experience is probably it's typical for a lot of miners, because early on in a chain's life, when the network's smaller, the difficulty of finding solutions to add blocks to the network is a lot easier. So you tend to make more when the network's smaller, but as it grows, the network becomes more valuable, and its security provided by mining becomes more valuable, and price of the native token goes up. Yeah, that's basically a byproduct of actually having hash secure the network and all those miners working, and it's lovely to see. But it's I get what you're saying. When you look back at what you were kind of making 6 months ago, and it was like,
oh yeah, like in summer 2021, I was at one point I had my 2 machines going, and then all my 4 gig cards just started failing. And yeah, I was mining about 400 Ravencoin per day with like 175 to 200 mega hash, which was awesome at that time. But yeah, that would probably be my highlight of mining Ravencoin, was when everybody went back to Ethereum, brought the hash over, and then we were just cooking.
Yeah, it's lovely to hear that, but it's part of the work that proof of work mining does is securing the network. So the network's grown. It's also had quite a bit of an influx of hash from Ethereum's merge recently, where Ethereum changed from proof of work to proof of stake, which is like a different security model. And the miners obviously needed somewhere to go, and Ravencoin is one of the places I think that some of the miners who are still mining with GPUs decided to go. But it's
good though. I mean, it makes the network, it secures the network even more to have more decentralization. So it's good. There's pros and cons, right?
Which
the Ravencoin network is like really stable, because of the mining and like the last 4 years of like finding out about the code and where the good things are and the bad things are, and then trying to iron them out, so that this last merge, it wasn't as stressful as it could have been because those little niggles have been worked out. So like the difficulty went up like it should have done, and all that carry on, which I know some other networks struggled. So that's just
yeah. Look at Solana's down again. Good for you. Proof of stake.
And it's really difficult for a lot of chains because it was unknew that kind of Ethereum has said, all right, we're going to do this, but people sometimes you don't believe it until it happens. So yeah, when Ethereum actually went to proof of stake, it was a bit of a shock to kind of miners going, all right, what do we do now? And thankfully Raven was kind of sat there. It had a really good launch and fair launch and things, and is GPU mineable, so it's perfect for people who are wanting something else to mine after Ethereum.
And I'll get you, LSJ. I'll get you to go deeper in a sec, in terms of from a Ravencoin perspective, because I think it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts at a deeper level around the Ravencoin blockchain. But in terms of the Ethereum, is there any more Ethereum miners that want to share their experiences before we move on to the next topic? Hype Man, are you a miner, Hype Man? I think you've mined, haven't you, Hype Man? I'm not too sure whether Hype Man can talk or not, or anybody else. Dow, have you mined, Dow? Have you mined Ethereum?
No, I haven't. I actually really entered the crypto conversation just pretty much last year after reading a book on Ethereum called The Infinite Machine, but I have not mined. I initially, when I opened Ravencore node, I figured out how to turn my laptop into a Ravencoin mining node, but I stopped doing that because it just wasn't a good computer to run it on. But I do plan to actually get it installed with my desktop and hopefully buy some GPUs and take part.
Fantastic. Again, while we're still on the Ethereum, does somebody else want to share their experiences with the Ethereum mining before we move on to the next topic? Please share your thoughts. If not, we'll move on to the next part of the conversation. Now, in terms of, obviously, as Alex Chad mentioned there, obviously with the ETH merge and the Ethereum blockchain moving to a proof of stake protocol, ETH miners are now looking for a home to mine another proof of work blockchain, and as we all know, Ravencoin blockchain is one of the leading proof of work blockchains out there for people to continue their mining activities. So LSJ, do you want to sort of share the fundamentals of the Ravencoin blockchain in terms of being a proof of work? Why should they come over to mine on the Ravencoin blockchain, and probably sort of from those fundamentals perspective?
Sure, yeah, no worries. So proof of work originated with Bitcoin. It was the first place that implemented it, and it was successful. So for many people, that is the gold standard. And so what Bitcoin basically did is they took problem that was getting a message around a group of people with and incentivize people to tell the truth, basically. And they did that by using blockchain. All blockchain is, it's transactions, they're grouped together, all those transactions are grouped together into blocks, and they are paced, or they're added in a sequential order. So that's where you get blockchain from, because the blocks always happen in a set order. And the way that you prove a block was done at a certain time is via the mining. So each block has a problem attached to it, a number the miners have got to find the answer to. And problem can be variable. So it can be really difficult, or it can be really easy. So can be either really, if you had it's a bit like having 10 people stood in front of you in the room and asking them to guess a number each, and then out of a set of 100 numbers, it would take 10 people a lot longer to get to the right answer than it would 100 people, because there's more people guessing. So that's a lot of what mining is. It's guessing what the solution is to the problem, but doing it insanely fast. That's basically proof of work mining. It's a competitive lottery. And what that does is it allows people to be included and show that they've done some work by rewarding them for that work when they present the answer. Now, obviously everyone doesn't find the answer every time, because there's only one answer, and you just have to get the answer close enough, and that's how they adjust the difficulty. So proof of work means that you get rewarded when you provide the answer, when you mine the answer, and the network, and you submit it to the network by taking your answer and putting it at the end of a block, then sticking that block as the next block, and then everyone else can mine for the next block and group the transactions together and put them in that block. And that's what proof of mining is. And with Bitcoin, you got initially you got 50 Bitcoin for every transaction that you added to the network as a reward, but you also got transaction fees for people who are using the network. There was a small transaction fee that was added to the block reward, and you got all that as your reward for being a miner. Then every time that this happens, people have got a variable chance of winning, and it tends to balance out between all the miners. It is pretty amazing. So that's why I say it's a lottery, but the amount of work you put in matters. So the more work you put in, the more chance you have of winning the lottery or mining a block. And that's what proof of work mining is. And it just helps to generate the initial token, the native token, like in Bitcoin's case, Bitcoin. In Raven, it's Raven. So originally it was 5,000 Raven that was rewarded to miners when they sold a block.
I'll turn it on.
His gluten intolerance.
Sorry everyone, just decided to boot itself. Braveland decided to boot itself on me, so but I'm back. It's all good. Sorry, LSJ, you were saying? do you cover the fundamentals?
Yeah, and I got to the best bit.
Did you?
Was the end.
Did you? No, it's always good to hear LSJ. Like I said, there's
Waffles and syrup, apparently. And bacon.
well, LSJ is always our man to go to when it comes to the deeper understanding of Ravencoin. So I really appreciate you, mate, covering that, which is really good. With the again, it's important that people obviously know that in terms of when they're looking for another proof of work blockchain to mine, it's important that they understand the fundamentals of it, and also understand what projects are being built on it, because it's not just about the Ravencoin price. It's also about understanding what projects, what people got planned, what's happening right now. Because at the end of the day, activity on the blockchain in terms of projects is obviously going to drive in terms of transactions that need to be verified, right? In terms of and how miners get rewarded. So I think it's really important that miners do understand that it's not just about the prices, but also the projects, the variety of projects that have been minted on the Ravencoin blockchain. But before we go around and actually sort of share those experiences, because we've got a few project leaders, some founders here, CEOs. Before we actually go into that, we just sort of cover off probably just on the Ravencoin miner side of things in terms of what people's experience have been in terms of when they switched across to mining Ravencoin, as to was it easy, what sort of what benefits those people gotten from it, and why did they continue to mine Ravencoin. So again, Alice J, I know you obviously mine Ravencoin. Maybe you just want to go first and continue that discussion around in terms of your experiences when you decided to start mining.
Yeah, no worries. For me, I'm getting like a double reverb. Sorry, my mic is all speaking. Yeah, okay, it stopped.
Did I get you halfway through that coffee, mate?
Yeah, you did, and no, it was the mic. I was like hearing myself talk, not pleasantly. Sorry. No, so for me with Ravencoin, I started because I had a problem with some gear I had, and I needed to like stress test some gear, and that kind of drew me into putting it under load for a long period of time. And that's basically what mining is. It's putting electronic equipment like CPUs under a great deal of stress. So when I went out into crypto world to find something that I could use to CPU mine with, to test this dodgy, annoying processor that was failing intermittently, I found Ravencoin, and I'm familiar with Bitcoin and stuff like that from when I was younger and mined it and stuff, but forgotten about it. It was before college, and this was now after college and work and all that. So anyway, yeah, I really wanted to stress test this stuff out, and Ravencoin was there, and the more I learned about it and found out about it, and the knowledge that I had from what Bitcoin should be, and the more I kind of liked the arrangement, the launch of Ravencoin, because it was really fair. I was looking around, and a lot of stuff like gave themselves loads of ether, and to me that's just not fair. To me, if you want a community to like adopt something that you're kind of building and going to get out, you don't want to have an unfair advantage over them. And to me, that when I looked at Ravencoin and I saw that there was no pre-mine, there was no stuff set aside for development, and that a company whose director really liked what the code had potential of doing, asked his development guys, and went, "Do you guys want to work on this?" And they went, "Yeah, we'll work on that." And he paid their wages, and basically they volunteered their time on Ravencoin. And to me, that kind of community where the people go, "All right, we're specifically going to donate these guys time for that project because we like that idea," that to me is absolutely insanely valuable, because it shows that that person has absolute conviction in the idea of what the code is trying to do, and they can see opportunities to use that obviously for their own business and things, but it also makes the agreements with everyone else a lot easier, because there's no one who's going to go say, "All right, yes, we're going to give you money to go and develop this," and then people's incentives are not always best because they care about getting their paycheck, not what's best for the community. I really love people who are building projects on Ravencoin because they care about their projects and what they're doing, and they want to make sure that the underlying network is secure, and they want to help and encourage that, but they don't want to control it. Like a lot of what I found with Ethereum is that they control the underlying network by proposing changes and things, not allowing the community as much to do that, because just that the community is not incentivized to do that. The only community that is incentivized to do that are developers that are getting paid from Ethereum that was created and for any mining started. So it's kind of like, to me, that's not as fair as it should be. So yeah, so that's what I liked about Ravencoin, and that you can just mine it and use it.
And that's Jay.
You don't have to ask anyone's permission. But I absolutely love about it, and probably also a little bit of a curse sometimes, because you can't stop anyone from using it. So like, someone comes up with a project, and like, if there was land that somebody wanted to tokenize, if they own the land and they tokenize it, you can't tell them, no, you can't use that land for this or that. And they own the land. So they could dig up the land and stick uranium in the land and poison the earth. And that's horrific. But theirs, they can do what they want with it. Ravencoin's similar in that once you've got your asset name, it's yours to look after and to do what you want to do with it, use it for your project. I always try and obviously encourage people to be positive and to build in such a way that they encourage everyone else around them and not destroy value, because to me the earth obviously is value, and it's about being ethical about what you're doing. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting into that. That's more of an ideological thing than a blockchain thing. But yeah, so what Ravencoin enables to me is amazing.
That's great. Great feedback, LSJ. It's always good to hear those thoughts in terms of what you've been doing on the Ravencoin blockchain, and as you said, it's a very easy blockchain to start mining on. Anybody can do it, right? Also, shout out to Mooncat, who also joined us. I just saw you in the audience here, so thank you for joining us. And in terms of, I know Fatal Frames, you mentioned that you mined Ravencoin. You sort of touched on some of the things before about how you've been mining. Do you want to share any other in terms of your experiences with Ravencoin, mining Ravencoin blockchain? It's what you got dad duties at the moment, so I know you can, so it's all good. Just whenever you can. Humble miner, you mine Ravencoin, right?
Yep. Yeah, I can hop in real quick.
Do you want to share that?
My dog's going wild in the background. There's squirrels everywhere. She's going wild. So I'll be brief. So I'm just a household miner, like I said. Mine mostly in my garage, that way my wife doesn't throw me out of the house. Usually, just because it's an intensive algorithm, and it definitely produces a lot of heat. Sometimes at least for me, it was easier to mine ETH in the garage when it's hot, and then in the wintertime it was great to mine Ravencoin. It was real easy, just with the temperatures. But yeah, it's like right now the temperatures, at least in the US, like Northeast, is starting to cut down a little bit. So at least in my opinion, I think we'll start to see some home miners start to turn rigs back on, especially when you're starting to look at cost of heat. You might as well, at least in my mind, it's you might be losing a little bit of money, but you're also when you're accounting for what you pay in electric. And if you know how to distribute the heat in your house, you're actually going to be benefiting pretty well. So something I've done is actually route it into the ducts, and so the heat from the GPUs are actually going through the house, and it's actually helping out. But that's my experience.
That's fantastic. SOS, you mine Ravencoin. Do you want to just share your experiences with Ravencoin mining? You're right to talk, SOS?
Sorry, you actually just caught me coming back from grabbing a beer. Cheers.
All good. In terms of your experience mining Ravencoin, what would be your experience been?
Yeah, I started about, it's been like 1 year, almost to the day. It was one of those, I kind of knew about crypto mining from, I'm going to say unfortunately, from when it began, because if I really would have stuck with Bitcoin from way back then, I'd probably be a millionaire by now, but oh well. So when I kind of decided, hey, I want to get back into this and kind of heard about NFTs, I started doing very basic, I'm going to call it research, but it was Google searching, and it was like, oh, there's this thing called Ravencoin, and it's good for video cards, and I had a powerful gaming PC, but I had a gaming PC that wasn't doing anything. So kind of stumbled onto it by accident and started mining. And I started making at the time it was about 9 Ravencoin per day, which was, I kind of did the math on like the main asset and was like, oh, okay, well, I could get a main asset after a couple of weeks, and did that. And then right after I got the main asset, I got hooked up with rvnft.art and realized I didn't need a main asset. I could mint through them. But no, the way I looked at it as someone who wanted to make NFTs was I have this machine that can essentially gain me 1 to 2 mints per day. And I'm not going to output that much, so this is great. For 5 Ravencoin, I can mint something on the network, and then it's there, written in stone. So I thought it was a kind of a cool trade-off. I don't mine for profit. I'm not a big miner. Like I said, it's just a single card, and it did perfect for what I wanted to do. And ever since then, I've let that machine run. I had my 9 per day go up to about 15 per day, and now I'm down to about 3 per day. But, same thing. So in 2 days, I gain enough Ravencoin to make a new mint if I want. If I want to do a sub-asset, it's a little bit longer, but so be it. So, all good. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And anybody else there that wanted to share their experiences in terms of mining Ravencoin? And Evler did say on the notes there that you got interested in Ravencoin because it's a cool name. That's fair enough. That's one way to grab your attention. But please, if there's anyone else that wants to share their experiences with mining Ravencoin, and obviously sharing that with people that will be listening here to this recording. So please, it's open mic. So yeah, not too sure whether the hype man is able to talk. I know he mines Ravencoin as well. But yeah, it's open if anybody wants to share before we move on to the next next topic. If not, look, let's move on to the next topic. As I said before, I think it's important that people, when they are looking at mining on Ravencoin or finding a proof of work blockchain, as to why they should be moving across and why mine. And I think it's more than just about the price of the Ravencoin, the native token. I think you have to understand in terms of what projects are being minted on it, created on the layer 1 Ravencoin blockchain. So I think we'll go around the circle here, and because I know we've got people who have created projects and or planning projects. I know Fatal Frames, if you want to go first, I know you mint your photography, fantastic pieces of photography. Do you want to sort of share what you've been doing in terms of minting on the Ravencoin from that side of things?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for hosting this, and I'd like to come to Braveland as much as I could, but things are always happening, going on. It's nice to come every month, though, if you can. Nice. So yeah, I mean, lately I've done a couple auctions with NFT Raven. I'm just doing some sunflower stuff right now. This is kind of funny. Everybody who got their prints and their mystery NFTs from my giveaway I think they got them all except for White Hash, who apparently his mailbox got stolen from his building or something in Abbotsford, British Columbia. So was kind of weird. Apparently, his print is still delayed by Canada Post for some reason. Yeah, and then I'm gonna auction up a couple other infrared digital pictures that I have next week on NFT Raven Discord. Kind of active in there, but also trying to as well and Ravenous like support other artists and finding other interesting collections to kind of get some pieces from too, and help out other people who are emerging. Like, I don't know if anybody's checked out MRP also. He's got some real interesting collections that I really like, and he's doing some cool stuff with his own token and different giveaways and stuff like that. For me, I'll do those 2 auctions to inbred pieces next week on NFT Raven at some point. You'll see if you follow me on Twitter. I'll kind of get out there, and then I have a whole collection of Europe photos coming out soon. I've been working on when I find the time between a newborn and looking after a 2-year-old, which is minimal per day. Like maybe I get an hour and a half to myself to accomplish stuff. But yeah, so the European collection will be coming out, and then I'll probably do a giveaway, some community giveaways before I drop that to kind of get some interest and get some more people holding some of my NFTs and. And then I'll kind of keep everybody posted about that. So I'm around. I'm always around. Sometimes, there's been some controversy on Twitter with people supporting other different people who are not supporting other people and stuff. Like, personally, for me, like, I try and be neutral, and sometimes people take some of my tweets the wrong way. Like when I'm sharing stuff on conversations, I'm not trying to attack people. I'll just try and send like gifts or a meme or something to try and be neutral, try and diffuse things. I know like there's some infighting in people, and it's unfortunate, but I don't want to take sides, and other people here of course don't want to take sides. So I just wanted to say that, explain piece a little bit on that. Anyway, so thanks for putting this on, and thanks everybody for coming out, and I'm excited to kind of hear about everybody else's projects and everybody else. I pretty much know everybody here. I've seen this Elvira, you've been on NFT Raven chat a bit. I've seen some of your work. I haven't bid on anything. I'm trying to bid on some stuff as I go, but you know how it goes, you can't bid on everything. And then so take it away, Rick. Somebody else. That's
great, Fred. I really appreciate that. We love your work, and it's fantastic to see your pieces of artwork. Amazing photography that you do, and again, it's fantastic what you're doing in terms of your artwork on there. And if I could just add to that, I think what we all got to remember is that our competition doesn't matter in terms of blockchain. Our competition is actually mainstream. I think just reminding people that rather than actually looking at people beside you in different projects, different NFT marketplaces, I think what we all got to get together is actually convert mainstream. That's our competition, bring them in and actually educate them in terms of what blockchain, what Ravencoin's all about, what different projects are all about, rather than looking creating things that shouldn't even be there. So again, as I keep reminding people, the rising tides raises all boats, and our competition is actually mainstream. Just to add to that, those thoughts there, Fatal. But Blockchain John is actually, he streamed this live. C3 Media is actually streamed this on Twitch, as he does every month. So for the people that haven't got access to a PC or a laptop to be able to download the software, Blockchain John does a fantastic job with C3 Media and having this event live on Twitch as well. So again, thank you for that, sir. Humble Miner, from a gaming perspective, in terms of your project on the Ravencoin blockchain, do you want to share that with us?
Yeah, sure. So my project is called the Humble Miner. It's going on. It'll be live. Be live for almost 2 years in January. So what is it? It's a 2D classic mining game. It's a mobile game. It's available on Android, available on iOS as well. It's based on the idea of proof of work. So it's basically, so the fundamental is it's proof of work. So I got kids in the background moving all kinds of blocks and things. I can't even hear myself think. So it's a 2D mining game, and basically why I made it was basically something that is an easy gateway for people to enter crypto space. It's an off-chain game. That you actually enter your Ravencoin wallet, so it is tied to the Ravencoin wallet. All assets are made on the Raven chain, and so anybody can download, go into the App Store, and find this game, download it. It comes up just like any other game, kind of like a puzzle game, and there's a couple categories, so it's an easy find. So anybody not even knowing what crypto is can download it and kind of get their feet wet into the crypto space. And it's kind of a gateway. It has like a lot of info buttons in there. It kind of tells you what crypto is, what blockchain is, what NFTs are. So it's kind of like a really rudimentary introduction for anybody coming into the space. And so it's kind of like a fun game. You go in and you go into a cave. You have a little character, and you have picks. And you go down to a cave, and you actually you mine for treasure, you mine for blocks, and then you're actually rewarded for mining the blocks. So every 100 blocks you get a pick bit, which is the in-game digital currency, which you can withdraw out to a Ravencoin wallet, and you can use that and do whatever you want with it. It's just a utility token, so you can buy it, sell it on an open market. You can trade it. Like Mallory just opened their asset swaps. So there's been a lot of people that have done swaps for stuff. I post a lot of swaps for other NFT assets. So yeah, and it's there's 21 million total tokens on the Ravencoin chain, and that's it. And a little about the economics behind the PickBit is every person that trades PickBits in game for a Ravencoin NFT. Those 100 PickBit are actually burned from the total supply of PickBits. So it's actually deflationary. So yeah, and we've got about 2,000 players now. It's like just under 2,000. So we'll do definitely a big giveaway whenever we hit that point. So yeah, that's the Humble Miner game. Definitely some stuff coming down the road for development, and then one way that we looked at funding it is because obviously it costs money. It's free to play, but you can add you can purchase ad-free version of it. Sorry, I've got some. Yeah, I'm good. I was hearing myself for a sec. But the one way that I'm getting hot mic like LSJ. I hate listening to myself talk. I'm gonna mute myself. But one way that we looked at funding it was I wanted to get into the NFT space, and I started a NFT project called the Raven Friends, and so that's one way to help fund the game to continue running it on AWS, and then also a way to give back to the community is so 5% of the Raven Friends sales go back to supporting other artists in the space, and each person that owns a Raven Friend NFT actually gets to take a vote when we hit like a certain threshold, and then another 5% of each NFT sold goes back to either Ravencoin development or marketing. And then when we purchase NFTs, with that supporting fund, we actually hold on to it for a little bit. We take a vote as a community, and then whenever they're sold, it actually goes back into another voting session, whether it's Ravencoin development, community, or marketing. So that's a little bit about the Raven Friends project. So yeah, that's my two projects.
That's great, Humble. Appreciate that, mate. Also, saying hi to Old Man Fish Greg. Great to have you join us. We've seen you around the community on Twitter. Discord. Great to have you on Braveland. Love your avatar. Very green, very green.
Thank you very much.
This is what I love about Ravencoin, just diversity of different types of projects on Ravencoin. So we have artwork, we've had the gaming, now we've got music from SOS. Do you want to share your journey in terms of minting your music, SOS?
Yeah, sure. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I started about a year ago. I started pulling things off of streaming, and then I kind of went back to it. I don't know. It's been a weird journey, but I just like the idea of minting NFTs, kind of writing things in stone and making collectible things. You know, like I make one of one, or a 13 of 13, or a 69 of 69. Of course, that's one of my favorite numbers. I'll make it really quick. I'm just going to read off on my main asset. I kind of updated it to, I think, outline what my goal is here. So it's 6 points to define my position here, and then a 7th point to plot a course, because I'm a big Stargate geek. Anyway, 1 is make music as many different bands across many different genres. 2 is originals are released as Ravencoin NFTs. Covers are not, because licensing is very cost prohibitive. I'll play covers here, but I won't mint them. 3, spell out rights and intentions in all of my NFTs. Stick to those promises no matter what. 4, buy others' art. I hope you've all experienced this. I buy up everybody's art, sometimes to have, sometimes to support people, sometimes to use as album art. And I will always ask your permission to use your work as my album art. 5, do unexpected and weird, nice things for people. I think I've probably hit a bunch of you with unexpected, weird, nice things, I hope. If not, then just stay tuned. And then 6, periodically delete social media, possibly come back and start over. Very big on the possibly. And then the 7th point here, of course, the point of origin, is keep my nose to the grindstone. I come out with about 1.5 at this point, because I've been slacking songs per week. It used to be 1.6, but now it's about 1.5. And I just want to put out 100 songs between now and next year, and then 900 more songs between next year and 2041. So that's it. That's my project.
That's fantastic, SOS. And your collection is getting bigger and bigger. I know we got the Offensive Moon Graffiti NFT, which will be up on stage later on, which has got your whole collection on Spotify as well as iTunes. And every week I'll go into my playlist of the Offensive Moon Graffiti, and every week there's some new songs on there, which which I enjoy. So thank you for that, sir.
I love it, man. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
NXS, how are you? Not too sure whether NXS can talk or not. Yeah, I'm not too sure whether your mic's working.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Get out because you called my name.
Yes. Do you want to share your in terms of the artwork that you're minting on Ravencoin blockchain as an NFT artist?
Well, my latest and greatest project, excuse me, has been the Misfit Adoptions. I dabble with AI and Photoshop and photography, and I kind of see all those things as my tools and puzzle pieces, and I try to make something that I want to look at when I'm done with it, and how they fit together. And I fell down this incredible rabbit hole and made all of these little animals that just make me clap like a silly little girl when I see them, because they're so stinking cute. So I'm like, what do you do with all these? I mean, I love making art. I love putting art out and making people smile. But then once you have a good plethora of them sitting around looking at you, you're like, oh, well, crazy cat lady, what do you do now? What's next? So we came up with some adoptions, and I'm really hoping that people explore ideas and crossbreeds, and that we come up with some interesting images that we can make up stories together and little worlds and see where it takes us. I think it's a fun opportunity with lots of adventure. And I'm dragging my daughter along with me, Miss Mooncat here, who won't speak today, but she's put herself on the line to come on out and see everyone and what it's all about. And I think it's going to be great. She's got some really awesome stuff and super talented. You guys better watch out. She's going to really do some special stuff.
We've got our eyes on her artwork in excess. Obviously, it's minted already. A couple pieces already, mooncapped on Ravenous blockchain. So we've got our eyes on her artwork.
She does that with her finger on a phone. It's insane.
It's amazing. It's amazing. In excess, without embarrassing you, but I will. And thank you for that piece that you sent me for my special milestone birthday yesterday. You had me in tears. You asked me what my favourite animal was, then I told you the koala, and you sent me the misfit star koala, which you had me in tears because that was special. So forever to be kept in my wallet. That piece of artwork that you created for me. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. I really wanted to do something, and I'm like, man, what do you do for a guy all the way over there who probably has everything he needs? I'm like, well, let's see what I can make happen. And I'm so glad that I can make something beautiful for you for your birthday. And I truly hope you have the best day in the weekend. And happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much, In Excess. Indy's an NFT artist. She mints also on the Ravencoin blockchain. Indy, do you want to share your journey as an NFT artist? What's happening right now in terms of your artwork?
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. So.
Still got the coffee, right? You still got the coffee? It is late night.
My cup is empty.
LSJ. Sorry, go on.
So basically, at the moment, many of you all know that I actually make handmade bows and hair accessories and things. So I decided that after getting the encouragement from quite a few in the community, I decided to push ahead with that and mint some more on the Raven blockchain. So currently I've put one up for auction on the Ravenist, and I've put one on auction on NFT Raven Discord. Slightly nervous because it's new territory and things for me to actually put it out there on the Ravencoin blockchain. But yeah, I'm busy doing that. There's quite a bit of interest, so I'm actually looking at getting a few more designs put up for sale, just so people have a choice. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm focusing on. I had a bit of a drawer's block with my art. I've redone this piece of art like 6 times, and I started it from scratch today. So I'm kind of in the process of getting that sorted. So hopefully there'll be another hand-drawn piece of art coming up soon as well. And that's about it, I think, for now.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Indy. Looking forward to it. Now, LSJ, you've got a few projects on the Ravencoin blockchain that you've done. You've got. Do you want to share with us in terms of the one that you want to focus on that you've been minting on the Ravencoin blockchain?
Yeah, sure. So, like, the one for me that's kind of like the focus at the moment, that's really special, is the birds of a feather.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Indy, she's clapping strangely beside me. Sorry. Right, anyway. So the birds of a feather, some people call them the both NFT collection. And it's... Okay, calm down. And it's... it's just a collection of ravens that I really Ravencoin and help companies to get their asset names on Ravencoin, and just to help teach people get in and just help people to how to tokenize their stuff, basically, and a place to educate. And so right at the beginning I gave quite a few birds of a feather, I think 20, to Raven Angels to use to fund their work, because obviously minting assets costs Raven. So I wanted to give them a way to get Raven if people are interested in those NFTs, etc. So all the Raven from those NFTs goes to Raven Angels. And yeah, so I know that they're actually auctioning one off at the US-est at the moment. And yeah, we'll see what happens. The one that got auctioned off earlier today was for, I think, 4,900. I think Old Man Fishgrave picked it up over there, which was amazing. Thank you very much. And yeah, what I love is that if people get the idea behind it, to me that's more important than whatever the price is. Because if you understand the idea, and the more people that get it and understand it, the more people that appreciate it and value it. So yeah, so that's one of the problems. Sorry, that's one of the problems I wanted to try kind of help and do with my collection. So yeah, so I'm having a good day because it's just, for me, really historic, and I love that the NFT that went up for auction today was one that I bought personally like months ago. It's actually, each of the NFTs have got a focus, like a positive quality or something, and the one that actually went up and was sold today was NFTs, and because that's something that Ravencoin helps improve and is awesome about Ravencoin. So yeah, I thought that was an awesome one to auction off today, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, there's quite a few agreements that tie into some other projects and stuff that I do. So yeah, if anyone does have a birds of a feather, or gets hold of one, or knows someone with one, they might let you borrow it. And I say might because they're valuable, and people don't give up them very easily. But some of their abilities are quite useful. So if you can get friendly with someone who's got one, they might let you borrow it for a bit, and maybe get some bricks on their Raven wall or something similar. Because that's one of the utilities that a birds of a feather kind of gives you, among other things. And that's an ability that doesn't kind of fade away when it's used, something that the birds of a feather collectors have. So anyway, I said I wouldn't waffle, but I probably used way more than 5 minutes, but Morgan Crow said I could use her 5 minutes, so sorry.
That's great. Thanks, Alex. I really appreciate that. Again, just goes to show the diversity that we've got on our Ravencoin blockchain, different projects. Hype Man, I'm not too sure. Again, I'm not too sure whether Hype Man can talk or not. If you can, that'd be great. If not, all good. ETR, Erica, do you wanna share with us in terms of, as an NFT artist, in terms of what you're doing, minting on the Ravencoin blockchain in terms of your artwork?
Sure. I mean, okay, sorry. I was totally like not prepared yet. But the next thing that we have going on right now, I was hoping to actually have it ready for today. It might be today, but it might not be today, maybe tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But as a lot of you might know, it's October now, and that's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I just had I guess you could call it a breast cancer scare. It's technically, precancerous, but I just need surgery, that good stuff, so it's not anything too serious. But it inspired us to give back to breast cancer awareness and all that stuff, and we're hoping to sell these as a token and do, I think Travis was saying something like, this is why I don't do this part. I always trip up on myself. 20 per piece, and that would be the token. And then we'll donate. What was it? Travis, help me out here. How much were we donating to your breast cancer awareness? 25%? 20%? Something like that?
Recent discovery with precancer. So we are due diligence.
And what platform are you going to put it on, ETR? What platform, and NFT marketplace, what platform are you going to have those on?
Ravenous.
Yeah.
Right. I
We're kind of lazy.
Alright, so alright, so then. Yeah, we're gonna keep this probably right now. You're already started with hold on, Aaron, hold on.
Did you put him underwater, Erica? Did you put Travis underwater?
Did
We can't hardly hear Travis. Is he underwater? Because we can't hear him.
you moved the speaker. He moved the speaker, and I think he's using the speaker as the
Who is
microphone.
he? Yeah, no, that's right. We just want to speak louder so we can hear.
Yeah, sorry about that. So we stuck just with Ravenist because we started with Ravenist, and I just was kind of bummy about kind of signing up for other marketplaces. We started to try to look into it, and we signed up with Waggy for a while, and then it was too much to juggle around, keeping up with all the collections we started, along with keeping up with multiple marketplaces, and then the social media aspect. We're not just on Twitter or Discord. We're also on Instagram. I'm on every day, and then Facebook. I got a Facebook, and then we recently just received a domain, so we started a website. Crypto-Lissa had purchased us a domain to help support our art a bit more. So I've been trying to learn how to build a website and flop all these projects around. It's been kind of rough, but it's been fun and definitely enjoy building more and more and making a giant collection, bring the world in art and NFTs.
I will say that this breast cancer collection, you'll actually see, for the first time, you're going to see my actual hand-drawn artwork. Usually I'm just doing a lot of the support and coloring for Travis. And most of the colors are, I have to boss him around a little bit.
Thank you. I've always fun and taking my art since high school and showed her, hey, what do you think about this? Or how do you feel about this? That couple collabs together. We work so hard. Love it.
That's fantastic.
Until we disagree. Poor poker. But I do want to, since there are ladies in here, and I know a lot of you guys have sisters, wives, daughters. With the breast cancer awareness collection, my main focus, other than giving back as far as donations, is to spread the awareness to the ladies. Check yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to stay diligent. You got to start early. You got to know when things are changing. And if you aren't aware of what's going on, I'm way younger than I'm supposed to be finding these things. And if I wouldn't have started until I'm supposed to, quote unquote, it would have been too late. So definitely
That's a great project, Erica. It's touched us as well. 2 years ago, Mrs. Brick, we had a skit as well. She got it early. And again, we look forward to supporting her project because, again, it did touch us as well 2 years ago. Everything turned out fine, but again, it was getting in early, finding out it early, and thank God that Melinda got it early. So, we look forward to looking at your project and supporting that great cause.
awesome. Thank you, guys.
No, thank you so much. Old man Fish Greg, how are you? You got some projects. I know you've been collecting. You've been busy collecting. Minting any projects yourself? Not sure with old man Fish Greg. Are you able to talk?
You gotta unmute your mic. There you go.
How are you?
Yes.
I was just saying you've been collecting a lot of late. I've seen. Are you minting anything yourself?
I have some main assets secured, and I'm trying to hunt down like a 4-year-old asset somebody has. that is OMFG.
Right.
And but I do have some main assets, and something will be coming. Probably not this year.
Right.
It'll probably be first of next year.
Nice. Anything you'd like to share with everyone here? Because you've been around for a while, but you've just come back into the Ravencoin community just recently. Because you were here from pretty much from the beginning, weren't you, with Ravencoin?
Kind of as a lurker. I started out as a miner,
Yes.
and basically a collector of Ravencoin.
Yeah.
And then I just recently got into the NFT community.
Nice. Well, really enjoying seeing some of your posts, and again, thank you for attending today. It's again, this is about building this monthly and continue to build in terms of as a community to keep people aware, sharing knowledge, and really appreciate you coming and continue to come, hopefully.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to support and build, and really excited to watch other people build. There's so much going on. I mean, there's so many people building that you can't keep track of all of it. It's awesome.
Fantastic, thank you. And Ivra has been going backwards and forwards. He's been avoiding. Is actually anything you would like to share? I'm not too sure whether your mic's working or not, Ivra. But I see some of your comments here. But again, I'm not too sure whether you can talk or not. If so, please. If not, all good too. But yeah, as I said earlier, I think one of the wonderful things about the Ravencoin blockchain is just the diversity of the projects that we've got on the Ravencoin, and I guess from our perspective, we tokenizing real estate. We got our first property on the Ravencoin. We did start with Ethereum blockchain with the Koala property, the Brisbane property. We decided to switch given all the issues we had with Ethereum, the gas fees, and we obviously seek Ravencoin in January this year to switch to minting our properties in future on the Ravencoin blockchain. So the Dolphin prop, which we launch at the end of this month, is actually going to be the first one on the Ravencoin blockchain, and basically our plan is to tokenize the 11 properties in the first year and 20 properties thereafter every year. So, and they're all going to be on the Ravencoin blockchain. So again, there is a wave of real estate coming onto the Ravencoin blockchain. I know my colleagues, Dan and Sarah, they're about to launch their property there in the US. It officially will be the first real estate property on the blockchain, on the Ravencoin blockchain, and we'll soon be right behind them. So we are minting ours, as I said, as we speak, and we're launching it in this month. And I know Jake Maynard, he's got his next year, his properties that he's going to be tokenizing on the Ravencoin blockchain. So again, there's a massive wave of real estate coming onto the Ravencoin blockchain, and I get asked probably 2-3 times a week, every week, in terms of my colleagues that are planning to tokenize real estate around the world, and they're asking me in terms of what blockchain they should be looking at. Then obviously I'm telling them Ravencoin blockchain is the blockchain we're doing it, and obviously recommending. So if everything falls in line in terms of my colleagues, there'll be a lot of real estate. They're lumpy assets with a lot of tokens. They need to be verified, and I guess from my perspective, it's important that I keep obviously promoting Ravencoin blockchain, because I've got a vested interest to secure the blockchain, because this is the blockchain we're tokenizing on. So for us, we have got a vested interest that we've got a solid blockchain that's going to be scalable. Well, it is scalable, and it's got all the ticks all the boxes in terms of what we're doing from our perspective. So again, that's what I love about the chain. Just diversity, music, gaming, artwork, movies, real estate, and the list goes on and on. So, and again, it's really exciting times. Now we come to the fantastic part of the event, with some music to enjoy. SOS is our monthly musician that puts on a concert for us, that we're quite fortunate. I'll hand it over to him, but before I do so, I really appreciate everybody coming along today, and keep building this Braveland event every month, and again, keep learning, keep everybody updated what's going on. As I said, this is about the Ravencoin community that I just facilitate. I'm just a piece in the cog that facilitates it, and we all play our part in terms of making this a success. and spread the word, get more people to come along, and hopefully we can get increase in numbers each month. So thank you so much. I'll hand it over to SOS to the next part. SOS, over to you, sir.
Thank you. So if everyone would like to, over my shoulder here, I'll turn around. See that stage over there? If they kind of walk into that lit up area, we'll start the concert. Give me a minute or two to grab a beer, and I'll meet you there. Thanks, Rick.
Let's go.
How could you have realized you'd fallen for all his lies? You'll just go on and find some other guy. How could you not realize your heart was meant to be mine? I know that I'll see you in my dreams tonight, but I miss you when I wake up. You're not by my side. I know that I'll see you in. When I was a child, my family would travel out to western Pennsylvania, where my parents were born. When there's a backwoods old town that's often remembered, so many times that my memories are worn. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Fayette County, down by the Three Rivers, where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Henderson's coal train has hauled it away. Well, sometimes we travel right down the Three Rivers to the abandoned old furnace down by Braddock Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we'd shoot with our pistols. But all we would kill, all we. Won't you take me back to? Won't you take down by the Three Rivers where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Henderson's coal train has hauled it away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel, and they tortured the timber and stripped all the land. Well, they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken. Then they wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Fayette County, down by the Three Rivers where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Henderson's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes flow down the Three Rivers, let my soul roll on up to the Youghiogheny Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Fayette County, down by the Three Rivers where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Henderson's coal train has hauled it away.
Oh, hi there, Braveland. I'm Sauce on Side. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to get you started off here with one of my favorites, from one of my favorites. You'll notice the main difference between me and James Brown would be the color of our boots. Also, I don't sing as good as him, and I don't dance as good as him.
Yourself and nobody else. You got to live for yourself. Yourself and nobody else. If you leave me, I'll go crazy. If you leave, I love you too much. You got to live for yourself. Yourself and nobody else. You got to live for yourself. Yourself and nobody else. If you leave me, I'll go crazy. If you leave me, I'll go crazy. 'Cause I love you, I love you too much. There's rain in Central Park. Check out Amy shouting at the gate. And tell you everything. Or did he mention the magic day? When I found it out from a big tree. It's the chosen fruit of the devil himself. Now you've been bad for 15 years. And now it looks like Daddy's taking off his bill.
I was supposed to just wave and then start playing, but whoops. Okay. I wither within when I'm without, baptized in sin and blazed with doubt. Most nights I hardly know myself. Sometimes I feel like someone else. Was I ever good enough for you? There's always someone I'm trying to live up to. I could never get to you. You always seem closer in the rear view. Underneath all apathy, you're woven into my tapestry. Did you ever love me at all? Sometimes I start to lose control. Was I ever good enough for you? There's always someone I'm trying to live up to. I could never get to you. You always seem closer in the rear view. You love me, I love you. You don't love me anymore, I still do. I'm sorry, I'm trying. I hate it when you catch me crying. You love me, I love you. You don't love me anymore, I still do. I'm sorry, I'm trying. I hate it when you catch me crying. I wanna write a song about you. But every single time I try to, I write a thesis. I don't want to. I got a couple things to tell you. But every single time I try to, I exegesis. Cuts through. Time to let go, release you. Time to dumb my release you. Time to bring me back down. Time to you. To you.
got my guard around you, release you. Time to let you off the hook. Time to bring me back down to the ground again. I wanna write a song about you. Every time I do, you run the red line right through. There's too many things. I gotta start with shit on you. Time to let it turn around through. Release you. Time to draw my guard around you. Release you. Time to let you off the hook. Time to bring me back down to the ground to you.
Yo, what up, Braveland? It's your old pal, Sauce on Side. I just want to remind you that if you got a problem, I'll solve it. I would also like to remind you that our friend Brick is the man, and say thank you to Brick for always hosting these wonderful events. Play it, them, Brick. You the man. If you know the song, feel free to sing along. Back next month. Back next. If you don't know this song, feel free to. If you don't, come back next month.
We're gonna bring it down to easy, let the little guys come season, and we're good. You gotta send me out to the you know I got your back for good. You see that once you drop the X and now you drop the X. Well, I'm gonna be up, barking reckless jazz and take barking reckless. We got spread around, we got wings and flop our feathers, wings and we got between us, let the little guys compete and then we're good. It should be easy if you got keys, should be good. Keys should not a question, bring it on. Yeah, perfect. But then Jack is always not we got